At last, Loisel put on his clothes.
Husband?
Oh, I should go back on foot, said he, over the whole route to see whether I can find him.
So what's happening? Let's recap. What's the issue?
She's talking with her, they call it her husband back. They call it, she lost it.
So what was the most valuable thing to her that she was wearing at this ball? The necklace.
Yeah.
And it got lost, right? You're in the second question. Why is this shocking though?
Because it's not even hers.
It's not hers.
Yeah.
If you lose something that's yours, that's one thing. If you borrow something and lose something, you can get in more trouble, right? Who's next?
He went out. She sat waiting on the chair. In her ball dress without strength to go to bed. Overwhelmed without any fire, without thought.
Her husband returned about 7 o'clock. He found nothing.
He went to the police headquarters, to the newspaper offices to offer a reward. He went to the cat companies everywhere. In fact, whether he had urged by late spark of hope.
She waited all day in the same condition of mad fear before this terrible coming.
So how is she feeling from that sentence? She feels horrible, right?
Yeah.
And what evidence can we use to prove that?
Mad fear before this terrible
And we might not even know what the word calamity means, but we know she's very scared right now because of this terrible thing, right? Good.
Loisel returned at night. With a hollow, pale face, he had discovered her.
You must write to your friend
It said here.
that you have broken the clasp of her necklace, and what you are having it mended, that will give us time to turn around.
He wrote at his dictation.
So, did the clasp break?
No.
You don't know, it could have. So what's the husband advising her to do right now?
So I call her friend of mine.
Kind of make something up, make up a story. To do, in order to do what? What does it say?
To turn around. Well, to look for her.
So to like buy them time,
Yeah.
right? They need time to figure out what they're going to do to solve it. Good.
At the end of the week, they had lost all hope. Loisel, who had aged 5 years, declared.
Is that?
Oh, that was
That's-
correct.
I thought that was a girl. That was me.
No.
You would consider how to replace the board.
The next day, they took the box that had contained it and went to the jeweler, whose name was found within. He consulted his books.
Well, it's.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. This is the jeweler. So what do you say? Jeweler?
It was not I, madame, who saw that necklace. I must simply have furnished the case.
Then they went from jeweler to jeweler, searching for a necklace like the other, trying to recall both Sikut,
Chakran?
chakran, and Greek.
They found in the shop at the Palais Royal a string of diamonds that seemed to them exactly like the one they had lost. It was worth 40,000 francs. They could have it for 36.
So remember, this is a story set in France. It was worth 40,000. A lot.
So they begged the jeweler not to sell it for 3 days yet, and they made a bargain that he should buy it back for 34,000 francs in case they should find the lost necklace before the end of February.
Loisel posed 18,000
Or
francs.
self-possessed.
Or had possessed 18,000 francs, which his father had left him. He would borrow the rest.
He did borrow, asking 1,000 francs of one, 500 of another, 5 there, 3 was there. He gave notes, took up rules, obligations, dealt with
Users.
usurers, and other race of lenders. He compromised all the rest of his life, risked signing a note without even knowing whether he could meet it, and frightened by the trouble yet to come, by the black mystery that was about to fall upon him, by the prospect of all the physical privations and moral tortures that he was to suffer. He went to get a new necklace, laying upon the jeweler's counter 36,000.
Great, so that's kind of a difficult paragraph to tear apart, so let's look at it again. He did borrow, so he borrowed money, asking 1,000 francs of one. So I'll wait for everyone to be listening so we can interpret this paragraph. He did borrow, asking 1,000 francs of one, 500 of another. So francs, let's say they're like dollars. 5 louis here, 3 louis there, maybe that's like bucks. Alright? He gave notes, took up ruinous obligations, dealt with usurers of all the race and lenders. So he's dealing with a lot of people trying to what?
Gather up money.
Gather up money, right? Because are they rich or are they poor?
Poor.
They're poor. They can't afford something like this, right? He compromised all the rest of his life, risked signing a note without even knowing whether he could meet it. So when you borrow money, the idea is what?
Pay it back.
You give back. But what if you don't even know if you'll be able to? That's a risk, right? And frightened by the trouble yet to come, by the black misery that was about to fall upon him, by the prospect of all the physical privations and moral tortures that he was to suffer, he went to get the new necklace, laying upon the jeweler's counter 36,000 francs. So he was able to collect all the money, right? Did it come easy?
No.
No? Do you think the family had to, or the couple had to sacrifice?
Yes.
Yeah, right? So now we need, she's already there. Let's see. And then I think Renee, or Matilda, you're out, and James is in. Before this, what do we see as a difference in their clothing?
Elegant and rag.
Elegant and what? Raggy? Yeah. You don't like it?
It's tight.
Go for it. I mean, it's a good look for you, but that's cool.
Any help?
I don't know.
Cross your arms. Cross your arms. No, take it off. Cross your arms.
Like this?
Yes.
So crossing
No,
down
from
here,
the bottom. Yeah.
and then lifting up. Awesome. Alrighty.
Oh, it works.
Perfect. Thank you. Alrighty, so let's start. I think it's the narrator, right?
When Madame Louiselle took back the necklace, Madame Forestier said to her with a chilly manner,
You should have returned it sooner. I might have needed it.
So chilly manner, what do we think that sounds like? So being chill is one thing, that's being cool, but if you're speaking to someone in a chilly manner, do you sound very warm, kind,
Yeah.
and loving? Chilly?
Oh, rude.
Kind of cold, right? So let's try that again. How would you say it?
And who's all that?
Mm-hmm.
You should have returned it sooner. I might have needed it.
She did not open the case as her friend had so much fear. If she had detected the substitution, what would she have thought? What would she have said? Would she not have taken Madame Louiselle for a thief?
Thereafter, Madame Louiselle knew the horrible
Wait, can we pause real fast? Because that's actually really interesting to me. So if you get back a diamond necklace and don't even look at it, what does that kind of say about how much money you might have?
It was fake. She didn't really care about it.
So if someone gave me a diamond necklace, I would be like, wow, this is awesome, right? But if someone doesn't even look at it, what does that kind of say about them?
It's not worth it.
To them, they probably have extras. They probably have a bunch of them, right? So we can tell that this lady's actually, she's pretty wealthy, right? Go ahead.
Thereafter, Madame Louiselle knew the horrible existence of the needy. She tore her part, however, with sudden
Heroism.
heroism. The dreadful debt must be paid. She would pay it. They dismissed their servant. They changed their slogging. They rented a garret under the roof.
This is also interesting. So apparently people in French society who considered themselves poor, who did they dismiss? their servant, their maid, right? So we talked about what yesterday? A hierarchy, right?
They're like in the middle class.
They're probably middle class, and we can probably infer that she's exaggerating about being very poor, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Who's next?
She came to know what heavy housework meant and the
Cody?
cares of the kitchen. She washed the dishes using her dainty fingers and glossy nails on greasy pots and pans. She washed the soiled linen and the shirts and the dishcloths, which she dried upon a line. She carried the slopes down to the streets every morning and carried up the water, stopping for breathing at every landing. And dressed like a woman of the people, she went to the fruit terror, the grocer, the butcher, and a basket on her arm, bargaining, meeting with impertinence, defending her miserable money, soul by soul.
So that's a term, like a French term, so like cent by cent, right? So what do you think the author is trying to convey to us when he writes like a woman of the people? So James and Jason, what do you think? Like a woman of the people. So Matilda before was not a woman of the people, and now after her economic situation changed, she became a woman of the people. So what does that mean?
That she probably didn't get along with the people, and then like since she got poor, she had to start getting along.
Not only get along, but maybe she had to be in the same space as them. She went to the butcher, right? She went to the grocer. She went to all these places that before it kind of seems like maybe her servant went, right? Awesome. Next narrator.
Everybody